Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Yath. I'm a medical student and designer from London. And in this video, I want to share with you how I ended up working with the biggest waste man you'll find on YouTube and how you could also go about forming meaningful relationships with the people that you really look up to. That's right, I'm talking about Ali Abdaal, who you might know as a doctor and productivity YouTuber with over 1.4 million subscribers at the time of making this video. So for the last 3 months, I've had the great privilege of working directly with Ali Abdaal and his team for his part-time YouTuber Academy, which is like an online course for YouTube creators. But it didn't all just start 3 months ago. In fact, it started almost 2 years ago, and that's the first time I met Ali Abdaal. Let's look at the story that led me to work with Ali Abdaal in the first place, and then let's pick apart some lessons on how we can all network more effectively. So it all started in April 2019. I was consuming a lot of Ali Abdaal's videos. I was watching them weekly whenever he uploaded a new video, and it had a really positive influence on my life. I was learning so much, and I was applying a lot of his study tips and productivity advice to my life as well. So I finally realized to myself that it might be a good idea to actually reach out, say hello, make myself known, and actually tell him how much of an influence he had on my life. So that's exactly what I did. But since I was a regular viewer of his content, I knew his style and the way he met up with fans. I knew he had a standing offer for coffee whenever anyone came down to Cambridge. So I leaned into this. I slid into Bossman's DMs and I sent him a cheeky paragraph explaining how inspired I was by his content, but I made sure to preface this with the whole coffee thing so that it would have a higher chance of him reading it. He didn't really reply the same day or even the next day, so I thought, you know what, I've shot my shot and I've failed. But we move, life goes on. But a solid few days later, to my surprise, he replied, and in keeping with his busy schedule and lifestyle, he kept it short and to the point. So you guys get the idea. After this, I went to see him in Cambridge and he was super transparent and we had an amazing chat. I even took some notes during this chat, so let me know in the comments down below if you'd like a copy of these notes. I'll be sure to share them in my weekly newsletter, which is also linked down below. But anyway, back to the story. Fast forward 1 year, I finally get started with my own content. And at this point, I'm still occasionally messaging Ali, so going back and forth on messages. Anytime I find something that I think that he's going to find quite inspirational or useful, I send it across to him, and likewise anytime I need to ask him a question, I also ask him. So at this point I can kind of call Ali like a mentor. I don't know if we or he kind of sees it that way, but I certainly see it that way. And then one day I saw a tweet from Ali Abdaal. I think it was around October 2020. It was like, hey guys, I'm making this YouTube course or this course for creators. What were the biggest fears, or something like that. He was just gathering some research from other creators, other YouTubers, on like the stuff that he should include in his course. And so I replied genuinely to this and I said, you know what, these are the struggles that I had when creating my channel. Maybe you want to include some of this in your course. And this tweet particularly, or this reply, got a lot of heat, a lot of attention from other creators, and picked up a fair few likes. And I think Ali picked up on this and he messaged me. He said, let's have a Zoom call and let's discuss this further. Let's see what were your struggles creating a channel. So we did exactly this. We had a Zoom call and I tried to be as helpful as possible. I provided as much value as I could and I shared with him everything and every struggle that I had as a small creator. And I think this was pretty much it. This was the point at which I would say that I got to work with Ali Abdaal. So a few days after this call that we had, he messages me again and he says, yo, why don't you be this mentor type thing on my course and actually help some other people out? And obviously to this I replied, hells yeah. So that's pretty much the story, but I don't think that's going to be very useful to you if I left it at there. So let's now look at 3 things that I did, or 3 things that I think you guys can take away and apply to network more effectively. And just so we're clear, this worked for me and maybe I did get very lucky, so I'm not a networking expert. I'm just a guy sharing my own personal journey, so take it as you wish. Okay, so firstly, I think I reached out in a genuine way and I leaned into what was already on offer. So Ali Abdaal already had a coffee offer. He wanted to meet up with fans, he wanted to have a coffee with them, and he wanted to chat to people. So that was already in place. So all I did was lean into this and take him up on an offer. The second thing that I did was I made it as easy as possible for him. I went to Cambridge, I went to his hospital and I met him after work. I didn't ask him to come to a random cafe in Cambridge. I didn't offer to see him at a time that wasn't convenient for him. I just made it super easy for him to say yes. And I think the final thing that I did came after I initially met Ali, and that was to keep providing value to Ali. So it came through all the tweets that I was replying to, all the messages that I was sending Ali, telling him, there's this cool new app, maybe you want to check it out, or you know, you recently uploaded a video, there was a small mistake, would you know, you want to check it out. And I think there was one time where he changed the color grading on his videos because he bought a new camera or was trying out a new camera, and I actually reached out to him and I said, Ali, your color grading was so much better on your previous videos, you might want to keep that. And he replied to that, yeah, I get your point, I see what you mean, like the color grading is actually better previously. Finally, I hope this was really useful to you guys, and if you do want to check out what it's like actually working for Ali Abdaal, then I have a day in my life video where I'm actually having a Zoom call with him in the evening, so feel free to check that out and actually find out what it's like working for Ali Abdaal. And as always, stay safe, stay happy, and I'll see you guys next week.